Hey everyone, this is Riding Insane. Welcome to another episode of the build series for Broly, where we create Broly into a legendary Super Saiyan or something like that. I don't know. It's just fun to add a little bit of a lore to the bikes. And today we're going to be working on these little things right here that I finger every single time that I ride this motorcycle. If you guys watch my videos, how much I dislike OEM levers. They are high quality. I wouldn't say they're not high quality. They don't have any aesthetic to them. The design is all big and just wobbly, and the paint on here is just like a basic, like they just took it and dipped it into paint, took it out and just stuck it on here. For a bike like the V4, I feel like, you know, it deserves something a lot more special, and that's where aftermarket levers come in. Adjustability, there is a knob here. So lots of times when I complain about these levers that are not adjustable, it's not that I'm saying that they're not adjustable. I'm saying that they're not adjustable enough. If you turn this, you guys can see the lever is moving. I don't know if it's going in or out, but the lever, you can't move it more. So let's bring it back in. Oh, that hurts my thumb so much. Actually, I can't even, there you go. I can move it back. It hurts so much. Like, you see that? There's like a dent in my glove now because of how sharp and how hard it is to turn this dial. So when you turn this dial, you get some maneuverability, some adjustability. This is the brake side. It's just not enough. Same thing with the clutch side. We have a little dial right here. So here are Nimbus's levers. ASV, the best shorty levers that I've ever seen. I've researched so much before I got these for Nimbus. I actually have these for Kakarot as well. And then once I had Nimbus, then I ended up going with ASV again, because again, the best shorty levers that you can find. So by shorty levers, I mean that 2 fingers. So usually levers are a lot longer, so you can use your entire hand. This is the wrong hand, but this is the brake side. I should be using the right hand, but just to show you guys, this is perfect for 2 fingers like that. Usually levers are big enough where you can use your entire finger. Your entire fingers. So right here you can see these aren't shorty. I can use 2, but it's not made for that. It's just not comfortable. You got to put a lot of pressure on here. It's best to use for full hand motion, and I don't like that. So that's another reason that we're moving from these OEM levers to aftermarket levers. It's not my style. No more adjustability, and just the look of it, I feel like, again, for V4, for Broly, I think they should have so much better build quality, and they just don't. So we're gonna go with aftermarket ones. So I'll see you guys over on the table, and then we'll start unboxing the new levers, and then we'll install them, which should be very, very easy. But in the past, when I install levers, I've always had to go wrong. So hopefully this doesn't go wrong, but we'll see. So let's get to the unboxing. All right, so for the levers for Broly, I didn't want to go with ASV since we've already gone with ASV for Broly and for Kakarot and Nimbus, which, by the way, Nimbus might get different pair of levers because I don't like having the same product on each bike unless it's like a safety thing, like the radiators we got from Evotech, because they just make the best radiators. So yeah, we went with AEM Factory, which I believe is an Italian company. So this is actually the very first piece that we'll be adding. That's going to be true to the accent color and look that we're going with for Broly. And if you guys can read that, you guys already know what color it is. Yeah, damn it, I thought I was going to open it and you can see the color. So we'll keep these 2 in the background. This, I think, is, I have no idea, but I know this thing plugs into the little thing into where the brake thingy happens, but I'm pretty sure that's what this is. This goes into like the little hole in Broly where it goes, where the brake clicks or something like that, I don't know. But yeah, I wish they would color this at least black. It would look cool instead of having it silver. Anyways, so we have 2 of these, one for the brake, one for the clutch. Ta-da! This is the color that we're going for, bronze. So this right here is the brake one. Yeah, made in Italy right here. You guys can see that. Yeah, we're going with a bronze color. It says 3D Touch, made in Italy. Already just the way it looks, it's totally different, so much more better, so much more time. Even the color is not just some dull bronze, but it's an actually finished, clean bronze compared to the paint job they did on Ducati's OEM levers. Oh, it looks beautiful. So the color is a little bit darker than what you guys are seeing right now. Again, the camera can never capture the true essence of the product. It says AEM right there, but you guys will never be able to see because this camera refuses to focus. So it says AEM right there. It has a cool little wing design in there. I think that says CNC engraving, right? Whenever you use a CNC machine, a lot of companies rave about that. Then you see the grip, it's right there, and then it kind of transcends into this. I'm trying to capture as the best as I can within this camera and the natural light. I've kind of moved away from using fake lighting. I'd rather just use, even though fake lighting is not bad, and fake is, I think, too harsh of a word to describe lighting. I just like natural lighting a lot more lately. I think it's just a lot better. See how it shines? And again, it's much darker, not much darker, but a bit darker shade of bronze than what you guys are seeing. This is gonna be the first accent color of the V4 for Broly. Craftsmanship is amazing. Can I turn this? I don't want to break this, but can I turn it? No, I can't turn this. I thought I could turn this. I guess you can turn it from here. It says adjustable. They're not folding levers or anything, I'm guessing. I thought they were. I ordered these a while back because they were made to order, I think. So yeah, these have been sitting for a while, but it took a while for it to actually get here. And for some reason, it's going to focus on grease instead of the lever that's actually in front of it. And I love that it's open from here. It's a unique design, a little bit different than all the ones that we have on the other bikes. So I think this is pretty nice. At first, I didn't want a design where it's cut out from the middle, but then after looking at other levers, there's not actually a lot of choices out there when it comes to levers. Not a lot of companies make them, and when the companies that do make them, they kind of make the same basic looking levers that are just, I don't know, they're really boring looking. You guys can't see this as much, but this is also like a different shade of bronze right there. It says AEM, this little twister. I think this is to adjust the levers, but we won't mess with that. I don't want to mess with anything like that. I want to leave everything default until we actually get working. This little thing is actually what I think hits the brake, and then it clicks the switch. And then we will have to remove some parts of the OEM lever and put it onto here, I believe. But yeah, we'll figure that out once we get it. So this is the brake lever, by the way, if I haven't mentioned. It just looks so amazing. So if you guys are interested in AEM products, this is what you're gonna be getting. But I just like how different this lever is from the other ones. For some reason, this little open part reminds me of like a pocket knife. You guys can kind of see the little stuff within here as well. Overall, just an amazing, very beautiful looking lever. And again, this is gonna be a shorty lever, not a full arm or full finger. So like you can't really fit all your fingers in here anyways. So it'll be somewhere like right here, I'll be pulling in the lever. It's really hard to find good shorty levers for the V4 because again, a lot of companies make them. They all make the full 4-finger one, which I don't want. There, and then we'll open up the clutch. They wrap one in like crazy bubble wrap, and the other one is barely any bubble wrap. And right here is the clutch lever, right? Yeah, I think this is the clutch one, and the other one is a brake because it has this little thing right here, so I'm pretty sure that's the brake one, and then this is the clutch. Again, it's a shorty, so 2 fingers. And the reason I go in depth in these videos to show you guys the product and everything, how it looks like, is because whenever I'm buying stuff, I want to see this stuff. I want to see someone go deep dive into the product and just show it off. And no one really does, so make videos the way I want, right? 3D touch, made in Italy. I wish they didn't have 3D touch here because I think that's just stupid. Made in Italy too. I wish this was blacked out instead of white because you already have black right here, and this, I wish this was black as well. It would be cool if they kept the consistency. But you see the CNC thing over here and the little wing thingy over here. It's cool, that's what reminds me of a little wing. And you can see it's kind of like a brushed look to it. You see the CNC machine thingy here. I don't know if you can capture that. The little lines that are going. And then on the top it just opens up. Kind of reminds me of a cigar, or not a cigar, but a pipe, where people put that stuff in there and they smoke it. It kind of reminds me of that. That and a pocket knife. For some reason this opening right here reminds me of a pocket knife. I don't know why, but it does. That, and this also reminds me of a Viking boat, the way it goes. If any of you guys have played Assassin's Creed Valhalla, that's what it reminds me of. Again, I'm not sure this is supposed to bend because I'm putting a lot of force on it, but I won't, I guess, because after this it'll bend. AEM, once again, if this was in a different color, it would have been cooler, like black. I don't know why you would go with white and then black and then bronze. Let's be consistent. AEM. One thing I like about them already over ASV levers is that they haven't taken their logo and just smashed it everywhere across the board. They just have AEM right there, AEM right there, and on the other side AEM. With the ASV, they have like ASV here, on the insides, on the outsides, and I just feel like it's too much. And I like the way they have it too, where it's just subtle right here, and the only place you can actually see it is AEM right there. But yeah, they look amazing. And again, shorty lovers. Pretty sure this is a clutch. Yeah, I think this is a clutch. Haven't decided what all other accent pieces or which parts of the bike we're gonna do bronze. But we'll just see how it goes as we get different parts. And I kind of like how it's fat here, and then it slims down, and then it gets fatter again. Kind of like that hourglass thing going on. Yeah, it looks really cool. The little dial there. Again, I wish this spring or screw or whatever was black. It really costs that much for companies to make these things into different colors, or to make something that's originally silver into black. That just looks so beautiful. At first, like I mentioned, I didn't like the opening here, but then I just started to dig it. Once I started seeing, like, it started to remind me of different stuff. Also, this reminds me of a leg of a cat, because I know their legs like small and then like really long or something. Yeah, so these are the two levers that we're going to be installing on Broly today. Hopefully we can install these without any issues. But just from the looks of it, they look amazing, and they have a lot of adjustability, which I'm guessing is this dial right here that does the adjustability. But either way, I can already tell they're going to be a lot better than OEM ones that we have, those black ones, just by the looks of it. If it's the same exact thing, it just looks different like this, then I'm good for it, because aesthetics over everything. Uno, dos of these things, which we'll figure out where it goes. No instructions, no little card to tell you that, hey, look online for videos or PDFs or anything like that. It's just two levers, these two things, bubble wrapped in a box that's taped, and that's it. So let's head over to the bike. Let's figure out how to take those levers off and then put these on. All right, so first let's do the clutch lever bolt right here. We're gonna stick this little thingy in there, and then we have a nut at the very bottom, which we'll use this to hold. It's pretty tight in there, but it's getting looser, and it's out. All right, got the little bolt out, and then we just gotta push this thing in. Once I push this out, the lever should come out. I think so, yeah. And there's a little suction thing that I was talking about. Gotta pop out of that, and then we're good to go. So this is the OEM one. This is the little thing that goes into this little thing. Remember I was making that little hole thingy? That's what that is right there. So I think we need to remove this. We'll be using that, and then this little bolt actually goes through into that hole to actually hold this together, the lever with the bike itself. All right, so we just removed the lever. This is the clutch lever. I usually do the clutch first because that's usually the hardest one. I've been doing this for about 30 minutes. So first of all, I didn't know which one was, if this was a clutch or this was a brake. So I looked up online. The only difference is this is flat like that, and then this has this little thing sticking out. So just by looking at it and, you know, being smarter than a 5-year-old, I can understand that these two look alike, so they're gonna be the same. Second thing is that, as you guys see this little pin thing, so this right here goes into the little suction cup on the bike, and then you have this little pin sticking out. We were given two of these. We were given one of this and one of this. So the clutch side will have this little pin thing sticking out and all this metal looking stuff, and the brake side is just gonna have this. But my question is, why put this in an extra Ziploc bag? Why not just put it onto here if it is for the brake? Because this can't be used, like the brake one can't be used for the clutch can't be used for the brake, because they're different pieces, as you guys can see right there. So why wouldn't they just install it when they're banking the levers and just put it in there instead of having the customer do it? I don't understand that part. This is only for the clutch, so just add this to the clutch from the beginning, because I can't put it anywhere else anyways. So that was stupid too. So far, don't like how this company does stuff. This little pin on the bottom, and this little thing right here that turns. This one, however, doesn't really turn. Or it does turn, but it's like a very tight turn. See how this one just moves so easily? This one doesn't. This is just, see that? It doesn't. So I'm gonna figure that out and then try to install this and see what happens, because maybe it doesn't need to move as much as this one's moving. Issues, small little hurdles, but we'll figure it out, and I'll show you guys what I come up with. Okay, so we're back. I actually took this little thing out and just wiggled it out. The more you wiggle it left or right, it gets better, but as you guys can see, it actually chips the paint from the inside. So this one moves so freely, so I'm guessing that's how it should be. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take some grease and then put some grease in there, tie this in there maybe that'll help. And then I also need to put grease right here, and then grease on this little thingy, and then grease on this little thingy, so everything's lubed up and nice. So I'll lube everything up, and then we'll actually install this onto the bike. Alright, so I had to do a little bit more work than what you guys saw in the last clip. There's that little balloon thing right there. So it has to go in perfectly. Basically there's a hole, you got to put the thing within the hole, and it has to go in all the way, and it has to look like that, the OEM way. So the way we had it before, if you go back in the clip, it wasn't perfectly in there, but now it is. It took a couple of tries. I was gonna try like pliers and things like that to open up the hole so I can put the thing through it, but you don't need to. You just need to make sure there's grease on there, and then just push it in and out a little bit until it just catches on, and it looks perfectly like that, just like it is OEM. So if you're ever installing this, just look at how this looks like before you take it off, and then just make sure it looks like that when you're done. So now we're just gonna tighten this down, and then we are gonna move over to the brake side. And we'll also wipe out the extra grease that we have everywhere, but we'll do that once everything is tightened down and bolted. There, and then all I have to do next is put in the nut that was at the very bottom, and we'll be good to go. And just for a little demonstration, I don't know if you guys can hear the click. You see how perfectly that goes in? A little click, which is on the, that's not the click. The click comes from the bottom, but overall, it's all good. Everything is nice and smooth. So we'll just clean up the extra grease here on the bottom, and then put the nut, and then we're good to go. All right, so everything is cleaned up, nice, polished, everything looks good. I can't wait to use these. Just the look overall from OEM looks so much better. So now I'm gonna go ahead and work on the brake side. Should be a lot easier, or actually the clutch side was easier, just the first time I was doing it, and I wanted to make sure I'm doing it right. So I'm gonna speed through this part. I'll still show you guys highlights. We're gonna be going through the same process, putting this in here and all that sorts of stuff. So you guys will just enjoy a little montage, and then we'll get back to talking once everything's installed, everything's cleaned, and then we'll show off the levers. So let's get to it. Since I didn't show you guys this the last time, this is the bubble that I'm talking about. That's how it should look if this thing could ever focus in its goddamn life. Yeah, that's how it's supposed to look like, this little bubble thingy. So as soon as I pull, focus, as soon as I pull this out, you guys see how it wraps around that? And at the very end, it'll pop through. Boom. So that little thing goes into that bubble. So we need to have it the same exact way. And all it does is just put some little grease on here, and then just basically, you know, just pump it for a bit, and then it'll get into the groove, and just again make sure there's grease on here, and we should be good. And then we'll clean all this stuff up and install it. But yeah, I just wanted to show you guys that part because I didn't show it to you on the clutch side. Let's get back to building the bike. And we're back, because I'm an idiot, and I did not show you guys the difference between the two levers. So these are the both of these are the brake levers. AEM, OEM, get it? AEM, OEM, oh yeah. See how cheap the paint looks on here? It's just a basic black matte, not even matte, you can't even call this matte, you can just call this like a cheap black. And then you see the beautiful bronze glistening right here. It's a little bit shorter, kind of looks the same, or actually doesn't look the same, but looks kind of like there isn't that big of a difference, but there is. This little area is a small area that you're going to be using, and then with this we'll be using from here to here. So, you know, 2 fingers here, 2 fingers here. You see how big of a difference that is right there? Because of that big curve, you only put your hands on the curve, it'll start from the flat area, and then that's where you can grip this. This is more curved, you can still use this. I used to use 2-finger method on here most of the time anyways, because that's how I have it on the other bikes, but it just takes more pressure and it's just not as fun. So just wanted to show you guys, and then we'll now install this part on here and then do all the stuff that we did for the clutch side, and we'll do it for the brake and finish the bike up. Alright, so the levers is done, the brake one is complete, and the clutch one is complete. I just love them, I love the look of it. If you guys saw the beginning of the video, you guys saw the clip of the original OEM ones, and this just blows it out of the water. I know it's just levers, but it just stands out, the design, and not a lot of levers, shorty levers are like this, whereas this cool little design. Usually they're very basic, and that's about it. And here on the clutch side too, I can't wait to use these. They're just look at that maneuverability. So soft, so nice, so nimble. I believe this is the adjuster, so I haven't changed any of that stuff. All the adjusting we'll have to do once we're actually on the bike, riding around, just like with the other ASP levers for those two. We have to adjust them as you ride, find the friction zone, but finally we can actually have amazing launches from at a dead stop and not have to worry about the bike giving in or acting funky. It'll be a lot easier, a lot smoother, but we'll review these hopefully down the line once I start using them a little bit more, because the main thing, aesthetics over everything, but I also want to see how much can I adjust these so when I'm riding that I can get those perfect launches like I do on Nimbus, which is the only reason I haven't switched her levers, is because right now they're at the sweetest spot they could possibly be at. But yeah, that wraps up the episode. AEM levers, Ducati V4, hashtag Broly. We're all done. We're gonna move on to the rack. And all the mods aren't even on the rack because there just wasn't enough room. So there's a lot more stuff coming for Broly, for Nimbus, and for Kakarot. So stay tuned and hope you guys enjoy this episode. And again, subscribe only because you love me, because I love you. Peace.